We begin. And again, thanks to everybody who's joined us this evening, either directly online for tonight's November webinar for America's Walking Club, across the country, meeting together. And for those of you who are watching in video after the fact, thanks for coming on and watching what's going on. Our goal, of course, with these webinars is to keep each and every member of America's Walking Club informed about what's happening. And we have a number of really significant guests on board this evening, and really appreciate all of them being with us. I'll start with our board chair, Nancy. Thank you so much for joining us today, ma'am, from out in the great Pacific Northwest. We see Henry is joining us right now from San Antonio on the headquarters, so we appreciate that. We have the board secretary sitting behind me, behind the virtual screen here, and she's available as well. And we have a number of our regional directors, and we have candidates for upcoming elections on board as well. And that's going to be one of our topics this evening. I would like to start by just a quick review of, since this is a function of the programs committee, to remind everybody there have been a number of questions about the new the IVV Americas special program. It actually has already started. It actually has been going on for some time, and with the with America's Walking Club joining with the IVV Americas, and it's now the doing business as the IVV Americas and Oceania, with Canada, the United States, and Australia as the three primary players. They are looking to expand, although quite honestly, there are not many nation programs that are within that geographical region, but it does become the third regional association. Nancy, I'm going to fire the first question off to you. Do you want? You had a great article in TAW about why we were joining the IVV Americas. Would you like to say anything about that here and get that recorded for all our folks who might not have access to TAW?
We had a great committee that looked into everything that had been done previously and what was going on currently, and bylaws and IRS and all that, and found that there really was no reason why we shouldn't join. But I think the important thing is to think about the things that are reasons why we will have value to AVA for joining. Number one, just because we're on IVV, we are a member of IVV Americas, we have a vote for IVV Americas on what the IVV does. In other words, we are a member of IVV ourselves, so AVA, America's Walking Club, has a vote, but we also have another vote through IVV Americas. And because IVV Americas has a vote on what is happening at the presidium level and the IVV Congress. The IVV Congress is the body where each member country and Continental Association has a certain number of votes based on the number of clubs that exist. So we have normally 5 votes when we choose to go, and we went to the IVV Congress in Kiel, Germany in August. There were 4 of us that went, and so we got to hear what was going on with them and to express our opinions. And I certainly got up and expressed my opinion about a lot of that stuff that they were talking about. So, and learned a lot in the process too. So that was good, but also we also were a part of IVV Americas, and they got to give their vote and opinions on things. So we have a chance to influence that. The other reason, one good reason, is programs. Well, I happened to be up with I know Susan Medlin was, and there were others from the US that go up to Canada when they have their walking festivals. And the one they had in May was up in Penticton, BC. And of course, I'm from Washington State, so we just drive up, it's not far to drive up to BC. And we could walk the rail trails. There were 2 good rail trails up there because they're building their own cross-country rail trail. And so we got to count our rail trail walks up there towards our Rail to Trail challenge here in the US. And we certainly are working with Canada and with Australia to see what other kind of walking challenges we might have together. And certainly Timothy Miner, as the chair of the national programs, can certainly work with his Canadian counterparts to see what kind of challenges we could use in both areas. And I think that's a plus for us. We have the opportunity at some point in the future thinking about where the good regional conferences are. I happened to be at the Olympiad in Kiel, Germany, right after the IVV Congress. And it's just like one of our good regional conferences. And I'm talking about some of the really good ones. I know up in the Northwest, we have really good regional conferences every other year. Lots of good hikes and walks and good interaction and socialization, which is, I think, really a great part of being an AVA. And why not have that be an Americapiad, or however you might pronounce that, Ameripiad, I don't know. But at any rate, why not have one of those be that and just advertise it and have people come from overseas? Why not? That's an opportunity for us to learn more about other people in other countries and have more people coming to see our things, just like we're having for the Olympiad. The Olympiad's on a much bigger scale, but certainly the Olympiad wasn't any bigger than a lot of our regional conferences are. So that's another area. I think those are some really good reasons why it makes sense for us to belong, and it doesn't cost us anything. That's the other thing. Everything's done by Zoom meetings. I mean, when you've got Australia in there and they're the next day at 10 o'clock when we're trying to do something at 4, yeah, you're not going to be meeting somewhere to do it. So these are all Zoom meetings, and didn't cost us anything to join, doesn't cost us to be part of it. So it's certainly a budget win from that standpoint. Tim, maybe you can think of some other things. I haven't got my article in front of me, but I think
you did great. And I think that I refer everybody to your article in the latest America Wanderer that just came out this week. So thank you so much.
Okay.
You did mention the Olympiad, and of course that's on everybody's mind. Joining us from San Antonio, Henry, turn on your camera, sir, if you want to. But we'd sure like to hear what's happening and what the latest is from San Antonio in February, and inviting our membership to be part of this. And we have other members of the committee as well, John McClellan and others who can all chime in as well. So whoever would like to share with us, the floor is open.
Yeah, Tim, Henry asked me to do that tonight.
Okay.
So, yeah, the committee just met about 2 weeks ago in person there in San Antonio. We're moving within 90 days of the start of the Olympiad, about 62 working days. with the holidays and such. We're closing in on 600 people pre-registered, more than 400 Americans, 50 Canadians. I think it's 51 today. And everybody else is from another 19 countries in the world. We're expecting to reach somewhere around 1,000. So we are excited about the Olympiad coming up. A couple of things that we've noticed in the last couple of weeks. One is we had an earlier cutoff date for the early bird or the current pricing for combo passes. Originally, it was earlier. Right now, that has been extended to 30 November. So you still have the rest of November to get a full combo pass at 155. And likewise, the other costs, IVV is 105 and the IML is 50. Those prices are good until the end of this month. The deadline was extended. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we are now selling day passes, single day passes. So if you are coming down for a few days but you don't know, which combo pass to buy, you can just buy day passes at $30 a day. Or if you're overlapping, if you're coming in the middle of the IVV and then staying for a couple of days of the IML, whatever you're doing, you can sign up one day at a time. And a day pass is the same, access to activities and things for that day as is one of the combo passes. So that's a couple of updates there. We're still planning on being, we're headquartered out of the La Quinta. We're still taking reservations there. We're still taking reservations at about a dozen other hotels in the area. There are Airbnbs available, etc. We're still planning on being right in the heart of the downtown San Antonio with our Olympiad Village. We're looking at some exciting venues for a couple of the other special events. The IVV IML Friendship event, which is an add-on, it's an extra cost. We're looking at a very historic, essentially now a nightclub, the 1902, right on the other side of Hemisphere Park. And, it's going to be a fabulous venue if we can get it. We're planning the Parade of Flags, which will probably pass through Hemisphere Park and right past the Tower of Americas on its way over to La Valita. So all that stuff is still going on. We're making a lot of little changes to walk directions and things. We've got some construction to deal with in the downtown of San Antonio. It's like 18 months of pandemic. And now we're suddenly catching up, that and the infrastructure bill. So we're having to make some changes. We're going to be asking for people's patience on that. When you show up, there may even be some detours we don't know about yet, because these are fairly urban walks until you get out away from the start point, at least. A lot of stuff happening right now in San Antonio. And we're going to be talking specifically to our audience as we get closer about safety in a big city, because we know a lot of people are coming from rural areas. And frankly, for the audience in Europe, this is a much more urban setting than either of the last two Olympiads. San Antonio is no joke. It's a big city. So that's just some other notes about what's going on. We're planning on sending out a holiday greeting soon that'll have some of this information in it and a few other things as well. We're still looking for volunteers. I think our volunteer coordinator is on this call right now, Susan Panicki. We're thinking that it's going to take about 200 people to run this week of events, which includes bike rides and a swim venue, which includes transportation to the swim venue. But she's doing a fantastic job. We do have a couple of needs. We're looking for people that have specific language skills. If you can help us be an ambassador to people from places like the Netherlands or Japan or, Estonia, we've got 10 people from there right now, or even Germany, France, we are looking for those skills. And the other thing we're looking for is club trail masters. We've got close to 200 clubs. We have a lot of trails to mark. Our trail master in San Antonio has done a great job giving us, different trails every day and distances 5, 10, 21, and 2 marathons, a marathon during the IVV and a marathon during the IML. But there's a lot of marking to do every morning. So we're looking for those folks that have that experience, even if they're not formal trail masters, people who can get on Susan Medlin's marking teams, are willing to get up early in the morning and get out there and mark the trails. So I think I'll pause there. And if there's any questions, I'll pause for a minute.
No, don't forget the entertainment, John. We've got entertainment every day at the Olympic Village, at least 2 acts.
That's right. That's right. And I don't have that list of names right now, but we've got some pretty good local talent and a couple of headliners that are going to be playing, and there will be music every day. And also, don't forget the world-class rodeo, the San Antonio Stock and Rodeo Show, which is just a short bus or Uber ride from the downtown. It's about 15 minutes away. Uniquely American. And if you haven't seen a real professional rodeo in your life, it is an experience. I saw it in February. You could spend your whole day on the grounds there after you do your morning walk. But there are demonstrations and smaller venues on the grounds most of the afternoon. There's more food than you can shake a stick at. And then you go inside the big stadium and you see just an amazing set of competitions, children, men, women, and then they have headliners, national headliners, most nights of the month at the rodeo. And so we'll be putting up probably on one of the social media sites some of the names of the people who are playing during our festival. But so, yeah, thanks, Susan.
One thing I want to say is that, I'm up in the Northwest. What are the colors up here? Brown and green and gray. Okay, when you go to San Antonio, that's not the colors, okay? They're bright, they're colorful, the people are friendly, and it's a whole different culture than what you probably are used to around where you live. Certainly it's different from mine. So it's enjoyable to come down and see all that wonderful culture, color, and just everything about it. I like it.
That's great.
And we aren't far from the Alamo. So if you haven't been to the Alamo, this will be your chance to go to the Alamo and to explore the Riverwalk.
Well, very good.
Along with 5 or 6 other historic Spanish missions that are UNESCO World Heritage Sites that are on one specific trail on Saturday, the 25th of February, the second to last day. You can do the Spanish Missions Trail. So.
Very great. Before we ask for questions, I realize now that Henry had asked me to show a video by a very special representative of San Antonio. So if you will hold off for just a second, let me share my screen here, and we will have another invitation coming from somebody else. Just a moment here.
Hello, I'm San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg. Welcome to San Antonio, one of the USA's truly unique cities. We're eagerly preparing to host the 2023 IVV Olympiad and can't wait to share our Texas-sized hospitality with all of you in February. UNESCO has recognized our historic Spanish missions as a World Heritage Site and our delicious culinary scene as a creative city of gastronomy. Our trails are scenic and safe. Our people are warm and friendly. And when you're finished with your daily walking, swimming, or biking, our city will keep you entertained. Please consider this my personal invitation to visit us next February. We look forward to sharing fitness, fun, and friendship with all of you.
Well, there's the hat I was going to ask. Do I have to bring my hat?
If you have one, you should bring it. I'm wearing the logo right now. This is the hat.
The
Definitely
hat.
need the hat.
That's
All right,
right.
And the
Susan, you gonna be
boots.
wearing the hat
And the
too?
boots.
Apparently
got
I'll
a
be
hat.
wearing the hat.
Okay. All right.
No, I have no boots though, like snow
No.
boots, but not the same.
Not the same. All right. Very good. Well, during this time of walking and international friendship, America's Walking Club also wanted to incorporate some of the activities that normally come from a convention. And we had so many questions about that last month that we invited our leadership on board to help us learn really what's going to happen from a business standpoint of America's Walking Club. Nancy, I think you were tasked with that. We'll turn the
was.
microphone back on to you. How are we going to conduct the business of the organization, ma'am?
Well, the meeting that we're going to have in San Antonio on Friday, the 24th, I think it is from 1:30 to 4:30. So it's only 3 hours, long. So it certainly isn't long enough for a lot of the stuff that we normally have in a convention when we have membership meetings there. So we're having a special membership meeting, and it will be we'll have to have a call for this meeting, and it will go out in the December checkpoint. But and the board is meeting. I may have the wrong thing here. We already met and talked about what that call will entail. What that means is what we are doing. Why are we having a special membership meeting? Number one, we are definitely going to have a lot of welcome messages from dignitaries. And we hope maybe the mayor will come and talk to us and welcome us to his city. But we will also have dignitaries from the IVV, because after all, the IVV Olympiad, we applied and were chosen to do this, and they're interested in how we're doing it. And we definitely have had Graham Fawcett from Canada, who's the vice president of IVV on the IVV Presidium, involved and met with us while we were down last month in San Antonio. And I think he was impressed with us in the amount of detail that we have had in this whole Olympiad planning. And we just have been very thorough. So that's maybe different than a lot of the Olympiads that we've had in the past. But anyway, so we will have welcome messages from dignitaries. Then we are going to have a special necrology presentation. And this will be a very nice one. We aren't going to be talking and listing names, but we will have music involved and the names up on a screen so everybody can see as the names go by of those who are no longer with us. And it seems that there are more and more every convention that we have, more and more names of those that are no longer with us that have been active in Volkssporting in our clubs. So we are going to have that presentation. If it is available, and I know Jerry Wilson is on the call here, we will let you know what the next 2025 convention, what proposals we've had for the 2025 convention. At this point, we don't know. So if anybody's interested in having a club that would like to be part of that, please contact Jerry Wilson. He's the one who's in charge of the conventions. Then the other thing that's going to happen, and this, I hope there'll be a lot of former presidents coming to this convention because we are going to be giving out the President's Award. The President's Award is the only award that the board doesn't have to vote on. And therefore, it's not one of the ones that you people and others in the AVA Nation will be submitting applications for, because all that is happening a little later. So these are my awards. This is my awards as quote unquote the former president. I am not a president anymore, but I'm giving these awards to former presidents. So we will have President's Awards for former presidents of this organization. In the future, we'll have to figure out a name for this award since I am not a president anymore. That was a change in the bylaws that had to do with Texas law. The president of this organization is Henry Rosales, who is also the executive director, because they have to be paid. And heaven knows I'm not paid to do this. So that's what we're going to have at our 2-hour meeting. So that's really what the call to this meeting will be. We are not going to have the apparatus there for having delegates, getting delegates credentialed and all of that. We just won't have the time for that. That's going to happen in June at either 1 or possibly 2 Zoom meetings. And that'll be a discussion that the next board meeting in December, because we're having a special board meeting in December, we'll be discussing. When will that be? Because we need to make that decision about when those Zoom meetings will be. And because it could be 1, it could be 2. It was always easy when it's a convention because you didn't have to worry what day of the week it was or anything. You were there for the entire convention and you showed up when the regular membership meeting occurred. So the regular membership meeting will be a Zoom meeting, at least 1 in June. I think that covers what I needed to say about the meeting. I don't know if you want to have me to say anything, Tim, about the officers who are out there.
Yeah, go ahead and start that topic because
Okay.
that's going to be part of this, and
Right.
everybody's going to want to know what's going on.
Well, the officers have already submitted on time. The people that weren't running have submitted their the fact that they wanted to run, and have also submitted their 50 word I guess why we should vote for us kind of thing to the TAW, and that's been published. So those of you who've gotten your electronic copies have already seen that information. I know the ones that are mailed out take a lot longer to get to somebody, so you may not have seen it if you get yours just in paper format. But I am running again for chair of the board, and we have a couple people here. John McClellan is running for vice chair. So he's here, he can wave his hand. And where are you? Don't see, Leslie Stone, there you are. Leslie Stone, yes, there's John. And Leslie, you can turn on yourself on. She's running for secretary. Now, Ed McCabe is not with us tonight, but he's running again for treasurer. So that's the single slate that we have. So we will not be voting at the Zoom meetings on individuals. There will be a vote for the slate, I believe, and maybe Jerry Wilson can explain that a little better, but it's something like that, rather than individual votes for chair, because we do not have, according to our bylaws, we will not be able to have any nominations from the floor. We don't have that anymore in our bylaws. So that's all I can say about that, Tim.
All right, well, thank you. Do any of the candidates on board, would they like to say anything? John, Leslie? We'll give you the floor, the microphone, and the recording if you'd like it.
Yeah, there's not-
Otherwise, we,
I think I just have enjoyed Volks marching for 40 plus years and would like to do more to serve the AVA. And that's pretty much my goal.
thank you, Leslie. John, would you like to say something, sir?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to say right now. Most people know me. I've served on the board before as a deputy and as a regional director, and in the role of the vice, my agenda is the chairman's agenda. So it's the chairman's agenda. My job is to see to it that it gets done.
Okay, well, I guess I better say what my agenda is then. My real prime agenda is membership. We need to focus on membership, and that is club membership, and it is also individual membership. So I know that Karen Kaufman, she's on this call, I believe. Yeah, there she is. She is the chair of the membership committee, and that committee works under Henry Rosales. It doesn't work under me. It works under Henry Rosales as an operational committee. But I told Karen that I wanted to be on that committee, and I have the right to be on it as chair. I can be quiet sometimes, but anyway, that's it's very important that we come to grips with membership in all its aspects. That's really key for me. Therefore, it's key for John, right, John?
Very good.
That's
Well,
right.
Well, I think all of us in the AVA Nation owe these volunteers our gratitude for stepping up to take on the next term of leadership for our board of directors moving forward. Certainly critical. Karen, you were introduced as the head of the membership committee. I always have the floor here for the program committee and get to talk about that. Would you like to say anything about the membership committee and some of the visions and discussions taking place? That's an ad hoc question that just since you're here.
Yeah, but we're just getting started, Tim. So I've just sent something out in the checkpoint to see about getting some volunteers. I'd like to see some representation from each region if possible, so we can get a wide idea of what our members are looking for in AVA and how they see us going forward and growing. Nancy and I had a brief meeting a couple weeks ago just to talk over some things and get started. Henry has sent me a couple emails that I need to respond to, but just getting started, Tim. So, but thanks for giving me the floor for a few minutes. Appreciate it.
Well, I think it's important that you could extend the invitation to the AVA Nation via this vehicle as well for those who will see it. So again, thank you so much for what you're doing. And as you know, the programs and special programs committee is really made it a goal to make sure that each and every one of our special programs interacts beyond America's Walking Club. So every special program was asked to go out and find other companion organizations who will co-market what it is we do to their new membership. And we have some great opportunities coming up. Behind me is one of the signs on my local highway for the Washington-Rochambeau route. And we've really been embraced by the National Park Service, and it's the Washington-Rochambeau National Historic Trail as a special program, which have turned on in the odd time of September 1st, because it's not very often that the National Park Service comes to us and asks us to create a national walking program for one of their programs. But so it was so incredibly, we were blessed to have that happen to us. And so we wanted to jump on it right away. The 9 states plus the nation's capital city serve as the route from 1781 that the French Army and the Colonial Army marched from Rhode Island down to the victory at Yorktown in October 19th of 1781. And then the French Army marched back again the next year. And this is all commemorated in a national trail, which is mostly a driving commemorative trail with an awful lot of significant historical locations and sites, and creating walking up and down those sites, what they call their pearls on a string, is part of what this program is all about. And each one of our state programs has the opportunity to create a state special program to add a pin to the national medal. What's really significant about the medal, the national medal that we're going to be using, will be a neck medal. And the National Park Service has given us permission to use something that's very precious to them, and that's the what we call the pregnant arrowhead, or the fat triangle that is used as the official logo for every National Park Service location. They are very jealous and they guard that logo. But to allow us to use it as the award for those who do an AVA event up and down the trail in each one of the states and in the nation's capital city on this National Historic Trail is really an incredible coup, and we should be all very proud at AVA for that privilege. That's the kind of thing that the program committee wants to do to add to the membership. We'll be in December, we'll be holding our annual in Virginia, we'll be holding our annual event at the Williamsburg area. And of course, many of the colonial buildings were used during that battle, including the governor's mansion, which was the hospital for the colonial troops. And it was actually served as the backyard was used as a graveyard for some of the French troops and colonial troops as well. So Williamsburg, Yorktown will be important walks in this whole series. And it's a great opportunity to learn about something in our history, especially as we approach the 250th anniversary of our nation. 1776 plus 250 years is coming up very, very, very soon for us. So it's 2026 is that time frame, and it's we're going to have our regional conference in the Atlantic region in Williamsburg associated with that historical event, and you can expect an awful lot of fun history. You've seen us use the phrase Virginia's for walking lovers. We now use Virginia's for cycling lovers because we don't bike in Virginia, we cycle. Biking is done on a Harley Davidson, by the way, is the way our state tourism board looks at is a phrase. So we cycle, Virginia's for cycling lovers, and we are now given permission to use Virginia's for history lovers as well. So we look forward to having you come and join us in 2026 and all up and down the East Coast as we celebrate this important events. But what's more important is that the National Park Service, through its website and the association of organizations of all these different sites, are all going to talk about what it is we're doing, because their locations are going to be using them. They will be the locations where our walkers and new walkers will be coming to earn this National Park Service medal. So it's a pretty significant thing, and I look forward to sharing that more details as they evolve. And the medals are being designed right now as we speak. So the permission just came several weeks ago from the National Park Service. As I said, we all should be very proud that we are the nation's go-to organization for creating a national significant walking program. So That's how the program committee is trying to build up membership as well. Karen, who just spoke, she'll be leading one of our special programs, the outdoor recreation program, or par for the course, as we call it. That's coming up. We have lighthouses too. We already have two. We already have one significant confirmed special program for 2024. That'll be Labyrinths, and that'll be coming from Pennsylvania. And Nebraska really has a strong package going forward for 2024, dealing with music venues and music stores and things like that. And each one of these, there is a Labyrinth Society that will be publishing the Labyrinth program to their membership. And there are a number of music organizations that are being courted for 2024 for that special program. Again, we ask if you have a special program in mind, how can we take that special program and market it outside of our normal walkers and bring new walkers in through our special programs? So that's the report from the programs committee to date. Henry, you've been kind of quiet here down from San Antonio. I'll pass the microphone to you. I know that you've already assigned others to speak about the specific topics, but what would you like to add about what's going on down in San Antonio and anything from our headquarters, and how's the staff going down there?
Thank you, Tim. I'm trying to see if I can get my video going. There we go. It's a little behind here. So how is the team going down here? They're doing well. There's a lot of work that we're right in the thick of right now. This is when a lot of the heavy lifting happens. If you want to have a successful event. No, I'm very grateful to the committee. They were out here a couple of weeks. Couldn't do it without the whole planning committee. Everyone has assumed a different role and has just taken the ball and run with it. We're in the process of trying to secure contracts for all the venues. But other than that, once we get those secured, then everything should fall into place, because now you know exactly where things are going to happen. And the only moving target, like John stated, was going to be the construction. So, when everyone comes down, I ask for your forgiveness, because we have nothing to do with that. And you can expect there will be construction and there will be some changes to some of the routes because of all the construction going on here. But we will work around it. So just want to invite everyone to please encourage people from your regions to come out. We still want to increase the numbers. We need to have a great event that helps us offset a lot of the costs. And I think it's going to be very unique and different. I think, like Nancy said, Graham Fawcett was very impressed and said several times that we're doing lots of things that he hasn't seen before, or the way we're doing things, and we've added some new things. And that was our whole goal, to make it fun and exciting and very enjoyable for everyone that's attending. Everyone that is coming you all are our guests, and you're the reason why we're putting all this together, so that when you get here, you can have a really good time. So thanks for the opportunity, Tim, to put in another plug.
Great. Well, that is pretty much our scheduled our topics, and we have about 15 minutes of open mic time, and a really great time. There were a lot of questions last time that we didn't have answers for. So if you have a question, just turn on your microphone and your camera if you can, or otherwise we don't need to see you, but we'd love to hear you. What questions do you have for our walking club leadership here that's coming to you literally from all sides of the country? Thoughts? There'll be a bit of dead space here, but we won't let it go too dead here.
This is Wayne Knapp from the East Region. I just wanted to confirm one thing from the last webinar. There was a question in our region about whether the special meeting in San Antonio in February will be recorded because one particular person unfortunately will not be able to make it, but they would like to see the recording if there is one. And I think Jerry Wilson indicated that we have the technology to do it and it would probably happen, but I'd just like to confirm whether it will happen.
Hi, this is Jerry. It's my understanding after the meetings in San Antonio a couple weeks ago that the what's going to be handled in this meeting isn't what we normally would do the first day of a 2-day convention. We would usually have introduce the candidates, introduce some sites for the future convention, and give people a day to think about it and come back and vote one way or the other. This won't be happening at this in-person special meeting in San Antonio. So I believe the decision right now is to not record it. You're going to get all the information. You as a delegate will get all the information of who's running for office and if there's multiple places that we're considering for 2025 for the convention, but not in that meeting. So recording it may not be too beneficial and costly.
I might just say regarding the awards that we have that we'll be giving out as President's Awards will all be in the awards booklet that we normally have. I believe that would be the case. Is that not true, Jerry and Henry? We will have all the awards will be published in an awards booklet.
That's my understanding. It's not my area, but that would be prepared and be ready by June or whenever we're setting up to have the online session. So I imagine that would be available electronically coming up on that date.
Yeah, it'd be afterwards because we'll be presenting awards at the Zoom meetings, you know, that people have. Yeah, so it'd have to be after the fact. And I'm sure they'll be on the website. You know, you probably have something you can download on the website and things like that. I know we've handed out physical booklets before. So we'll have to see, but heavens, we can have PDFs of the same thing and you can download it yourself. That's one thing we can do. If that's what we're going to do.
All right. Other questions and thoughts? Otherwise, last meeting, there was a question about some of the upcoming significant calendar events coming in 2023. A reminder that the first 7 days of April is our National Walking Week. And next month's webinar will be helping us prepare for National Walking Week and any further updates. So we'll start talking about what we can do. April 23rd is a significant day from the the Rails to Trails organization, which is one of our special program. That's that organization's National Trail Day or Celebrate Trails Day, April 23rd. So you might want to have, if not a traditional event, or perhaps a guided event on a rail to trail to really capitalize on marketing our opportunities on April 23rd. June 5th is National Trail Day. You'll see the common theme of us working towards celebrating trails. Next month, the VVA is voting to add to our mission statement that not only are we an organization of creating events, but we are an organization in Virginia of that's going to really put a lot of emphasis on helping to create infrastructure for recreational activity. And that's all part of the new special program, outdoor special program, as well as all these trail days, as well as what we're doing with the Washington Rochambeau Trail. The idea is that we're here not only walking, but we're adding benefit to our communities by promoting trail activities, promoting trail development. And we are the ones that are actually putting the boots on the ground to make these trails desirable in our communities. Again, we use the term in Virginia, we are sports tourism. And our Virginia Tourism Corporation really wants us to find ways to bring folks to use our trails, whether they're local or from out of state. And we're hoping that that's what each and every one of our clubs are doing, is out there promoting trails, promoting activities that bring folks in from out of the local community, adding monetary benefit. So we're going to vote on that, adding that to as our mission statement in Virginia. Perhaps we'll carry that forward in future years to see if that's a national mission as well, but it is important for us. So these are some significant dates. And of course, October is our Volkssport month as well. So those are key dates in your calendar. So if you're looking for special dates to start to plan, first 7 days of April, April 23rd, June the 5th, and the month of October is where you really need to look to really key in on great marketing opportunities. Other questions?
I don't have a question. I do just want to put in a plug for volunteering at the Olympiad. As John mentioned, we need a lot of help. We need special help. So if you are willing to trail mark and you've had experience, reach out. I think my contact information is everywhere. If you've already emailed me, be expecting an email in the next few weeks with definite job descriptions and time to actually pick when you'd like to help me out. So that'll be coming. If I haven't heard from you, shoot me an email. I'll get you on my list. And thank you to everybody that's already volunteered.
Well, thank you so much for doing the really hard work of hurting all of us as walkers for social benefit there. Thank you so very much.
Oh, and let's not forget languages. If you speak a second language, even somewhat, let us know that. We're going to need a little help with languages from time to time.
Great. Other questions or I don't want to, we always say that it's important for us to gather, but it's also important for us to respect everybody's time. If we don't have anything else that anybody else would like to ask. December, we will start to look at a meeting that perhaps a little earlier in the month, away from the holidays weekend. We do want to start to gather, continue our meetings together. We'll see whether we want to do that in December or wait till January, but I'm of the mind that we should have one every month going forward. Keep in contact with what's going on out there across the nation. Refresh everybody's memory about the upcoming special programs and other activities taking place. And always to give our members the opportunity for direct access to their leaders going forward. So I'll be silent for a moment. Any last questions? Otherwise, Nancy, thank you so much. Henry, thank you so much for joining us from San Antonio. John from Florida. Oh, John, you have anything you want to say about Walk Around Florida?
We had a great time. Weather was great. Good turnout. Next year is in St. Petersburg.
Very good. You have dates for that set already?
We don't actually. they got to take a couple look at calendars. It's traditionally the last weekend in October or the first weekend in November. Alice did say she's looking at when Halloween falls and maybe looking at a theme in last week of October, if it's available. We won't know that until we have a hotel venue.
Understand.
And that'll probably be January, February.
Very good.
Thanks so.
But we'll, one of the things I want to do in the next meetings, besides looking at National Walking Week, is start to gather some significant festivals like Walk Around Florida as a significant dates for Crazy Horse, dates. What are the really key national treasures in our calendar, and really highlight the key treasures. We have not only the events in February in Texas, but actually in October in Virginia, the U.S. Freedom Walk Festival will be hosting all the leadership of all the member nations, the IML events, the International Marching League events. So 2023 is really going to be our year of international friendship. It doesn't end in San Antonio. It goes on till October, and we'll be continuing to hit that. So as you make your plans for Texas in the fall, make your plans to come to the Commonwealth of Virginia. And again, meet other friends from around the world.
Hey, Tim, an alibi, if I could, on the Olympiad.
Please.
I mentioned the countries, the number of countries coming, and we're still hoping to get to 25 to 30 countries. Right now we're at 21. But I didn't mention the states around the United States, and especially the state associations. Really need you to get the word out. We have people coming right now from 37 states. I'd really like to make that at least 40. So we need to gather up a few more. That means there are 13 states and the District of Columbia who don't yet have any registrants for the Olympiad. Some of these states are Alaska, Arkansas, Kentucky, Maine, New Hampshire, New Jersey, no registrants for the Olympiad, Rhode Island, Vermont, West Virginia. Those are most of them. Mississippi, of course, we have no clubs in Mississippi. Montana. So, I mean, there's some goose eggs out there. I'm not trying to pick on them. I'm just saying, you got friends in those places. We'd really like to be able to say we had 40 out of 50 states as a minimum coming. So we got a couple months to go. Thanks.
Thank you.
If I could say, this is Wayne Knapp here again. If I could just put in a plug. There is going to be a Northeast weekend in Cape Cod, a Cape Cod weekend, May 19th to the 21st, 2003. Just like there's only one Niagara Falls, there's only one Cape Cod. And so a lot of people are planning on going. So I hope you'll be some of those people. Thank you.
Leslie, you had your hand up, ma'am?
Yes, I want to give a plug too for the First Coast Trail Forgers have a Martin Luther King weekend every other year, and 2023 is the year, so it's just coming up, and they have information on their website. So it's the First Coast Trail Forgers.
Great. We really do have so many gems out there, and we tried to have a national calendar, and we will continue to struggle with that. And I think that really is one of our goals in the national programs going forward, is to really collect these dates and make sure we really highlight and give everybody the big picture of what's going on across the country, to allow folks to make plans and to see places that they haven't seen before, meet new friends, and especially target these international opportunities going forward with our new relationship with the Canadian Volkssports Federation through the IVV Americas and Oceania. We really do have some great opportunities to be walking ambassadors. And it really does, one of the really special things about our program is that we do get to meet people from all over the world, learn about them as they learn about us. And we do it at 3 miles an hour or 25 miles an hour if you're biking, whichever comes first, I guess. whatever it takes. But we make friends at 3 miles an hour as part of my elevator speech. So any other thoughts? Open mic? Otherwise,
I have a thought, but probably
Go.
don't need, it's probably too late. You're already 6 o'clock. Another time.
you sure?
I'll bring it up another time. Well, I have a thought, but no, another time.
Okay, all right. Well, with that said, then again, thank you to each and every one of you for taking your time to come out and be part of America's Walking Club and the great AVA Nation coming together. This video will close out here in just a second, and we will post it to all our social media channels. And again, thank you to all our leadership, Nancy, John, Henry, Leslie, as our future leaders. Thank you so very much, Jerry, and all our committee chairs and our regional directors that are on board to be here for us. Thank you for coming each and every month to be here for the America's Walking Club. With that in mind, we'll call this meeting adjourned, and we'll see you next month. And have a blessed Thanksgiving Day. On behalf of the Programs Committee, we are just incredibly grateful for each and every one of you that makes this walking special program and these walking programs that we all participate in happen, these walking events. We can't do it without you, and you are the true gems. So thank you so very much. Have a very wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll see you in December. Bye. All right.